as much as as tired as I am, as late as I got home last night, there's just too much going on. We're live 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. And Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. It's Jim Valley.
Oh, that's the most exciting type of Valley.
Effing King of Recovery. 6-0 against death.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but toot.
Back because of the fans, because there's so much going on.
Each and every one of you.
The largest collection of STD having trailer park trash the Rock has ever seen.
You all fat, neck-bearded, mouth-breathing trolls.
They don't have adrenaline in their soul.
Just back from the 80s cruise with people like Bret Michaels, Taylor Dane, Men Without Hats, Quiet Riot, Sugar Hill Gang, to name a few. And every cruise, every night, they have different theme nights to dress up. And every cruise, last big night is Pop Icon Night, where you dress as someone or something from 1980s pop culture. And this year I dressed as the Big Boss Man. A few white trash people on board recognized me. But anyway, we'll talk about that maybe a little bit later on, explain all that. But got home late because of the storms through Atlanta. Wasn't going to do a show, man. I'm wiped. But Cody winning the WWE title last night, WrestleMania taking shape, all the stuff, I figured, look, got to do a show, even if it's not as planned and structured as usual. Cody beats Drew for the WWE title, Portland, Oregon last night. And we'll defend against Randy Orton at WrestleMania. And I even said a few weeks ago, Randy Orton seemed like maybe the guy to push. Didn't predict it, but he seemed like the guy, and people seem a little more jacked for this. Danhausen, people love him for now. Jaden Rhea, talk about Trick and Ricky both doing the Rock. And winner people, I apologize, Mercedes Moné. Stand by, Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live.
$5,000.
Oh, clear.
Cool. That was a pain in the ass. All right.
But yeah, it just feels like Randy's got that he still can like handle it, and I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to health-wise.
Yeah, I mean, and who knows? I mean, why not? I mean, dude's got tons of money, I'm sure. So it's like, why? I don't know.
Yeah, he's just it feels like though he's just having fun.
Yeah, he feels like more relaxed than ever.
Yeah, I mean, like what that video of him putting on the Chelsea Green hat with the fan. And,
yeah,
you know, he would never have done that, 15 years ago.
Right, and him screwing around at what is it, Six Flags and
yes,
in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, or even just what was it where he went up to Trick Williams? He's like, "You ain't 6'4",
right?
Or you
he's
ain't
not.
No, I know, but like he's just like screwing around, having fun. The fans, people will cheer for him no matter what. But he's been losing basically since he came back,
right?
And I feel like give him one more push. You can let him win the title like. One or two more times, have him like trying to catch Cena, whatever. And then, probably have Gunther retire him at the end of it again.
Yeah. It's
still looks great though.
Oh yeah. Well, even bigger than ever.
I mean, yeah, it's insane.
I mean, he's like 270 and he's always been pretty lean, and now he's a monster. Yeah. I hope
he never really added any moves or, anything.
Well, there was a time when people were a little frustrated by that, if you recall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like same old, that whole deal. So there it is.
Although then again, I'd rather him just keep to where he is than have LA Knight problems where he's botching crap off the
LA Knight just needs to keep it basic. He'd be fine. He doesn't need to do all that stuff. He's over.
Yeah, he's great on the mic. He's just terrible in the ring.
I don't think he's terrible, but
But he's
it's
sloppy. He's a little sloppy.
he needs to quit doing the stuff that he makes
extra.
The stuff that he's jumping that is not a guarantee. Just need to stop doing that. Just stop.
Yeah, definitely. Just settle it down a little bit.
Settle your tea kettle.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Watts is focused on winning for you. SportsBettingClaim.com.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
It is Jim Valley. It is Wrestling Observer Live. We're live, and I'm live. Barely. Had a busy week on the 1980s cruise. Thing my wife loves to do. And I mean, it's just nonstop concerts and costumes and events, and you just go. But here is me. You can see it on the screen there. There's me as the big boss man on Pop Icon Night. And the way this came together is, when I was a kid, I was very into like all the music charts and everything. So I was like, I pay attention to, people say, oh, this song. And we're like, no, that song's 70s. Or, whatever. That movie, these type of things. And I'd always point people out who were technically not really 80s on the 80s cruise. So one year they had a guy doing airbrushed hats on the cruise. And my wife bought me one that said 80s police. She wanted me to wear that on the cruise. So I was like, how can I incorporate 80s police into a costume? I was like, oh, got it. Big boss man. So there it is. That's me as the big boss man. Few people recognized me. But I mean, everybody on the ship, there's always Pipers and Hogans and Macho Mans and Flairs. So I was like, let's mix it up a little bit. Do the big boss man. So I thought it was funny. I was just there to entertain myself. So there you go. But I'm exhausted. Oh my God. Talk about workers. Brett Michaels, Poison. I got Drew the House. Everyone loves Brett Michaels there. But it's like the guy's so nice. Talks, so positive. Is da-da-da-da. It's like, well, how can he not be positive? He's making money hand over fist. But everyone invariably, when he leaves, oh, such a nice guy. Shakes hands, takes pictures. So does Terry Nunn, lead singer for Berlin. Take my breath away. She's all over the ship, signing things, meeting people. And look, maybe they mean it. Maybe they don't. I can't say. But people think, oh my gosh, we're friends. And they lobby to get Berlin, for example, back on the ship. And, Terry Nunn is a hustler. It's like wrestlers could learn so much from the hustle of these old pros like Brett and Terry Nunn. I mean, it's to watch them. I'm not saying it's not sincere. I have no idea, but they're very, very good at what they do. Best of luck to Conan. Reports are that he had a leg amputated after medical complications. Obviously, he has a new kidney recently and other health problems. So we wish Conan nothing but the best. Last night, Friday night, Portland, Oregon, Jordan Grace injured her ankle during a main event taping in a match against Alba Fire. Grace posted pictures of Chelsea Green and herself in ankle boots as ankle sisters, apparently. Chelsea was calling them. Ishimori and Robbie X defeated the Ichiban Sweet Boys, Robbie Eagles, not to be confused with Robbie X, and Kosei Fujita to win the IWGP Junior Tag Team titles. Honestly, I have not heard about those titles for so long, I kind of forgot about them. Junior champ Doki defeated Master Wato. Also last night, Callum Newman beat Oscar and Jake Lee, defeated Yoshihashi. So Callum Newman and Jake Lee advance in the first round of the New Japan Cup. TNA taping in Atlanta last night. I've been going back and forth. Spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers. Let me just say this. There was a return of a TNA Knockouts legend. They had Mr. Elegance against Mike Jackson, Mustafa Ali against BDE, Jeff Hardy against Brian Myers, and Moose and Bear Bronson, and lots of activity, lots of different interference and things. And the Atlanta Falcons, members of the Atlanta Falcons were even there at ringside. So it's the TNA taping. You can check it out for yourself. AAA Lucha Libre tonight on Fox and YouTube and all the usual places. It's a pretty easy hour to watch, I got to admit. With all the 2 hour and 3 hour, it's very breezy, very easy to watch. It's going to be Dinamico versus El Hijo del Vikingo. Rey de Reyes tournament qualifying match. Mr. Iguana and Santos Escobar versus Psycho Clown and Abismo Negro. And La Parca versus the original Grande Americano. AEW Collision tonight is live, not on tape, live from Tucson, Arizona. AEW World Tag Team Championship match. FTR versus Zachary Wentz and Desmond Xavier of the Rascals. A $200,000 match. LFI versus the Swirl versus the Outrunners versus Private Party. And in a CMLL World Tag Team match, or World Title Match, I should say. Konosuke Takeshita challenges Claudio Castagnoli. And Swerve Strickland will take on Gravity. And Friday night, last night Arena Mexico, Mercedes Moné is now only down to 8 belts. Yes, only 8. As Persephone pinned Mercedes to win the CMLL Women's Championship. Now, other women from AEW had more luck than Moné on the show. Megan Bayne, who was subbing for Penelope Ford, pinned Olympia. But I'll tell you what, Olympia had some great strength spots against Megan Bayne, including having her up on her shoulders and squatting her. And Mina Shirakawa defeated Zeuxis. Anyway, so Mercedes now, if you're keeping track at home, has lost the ROH Women's World TV title to a young Red Velvet. The Rev Pro undisputed British Women's title to Alex Windsor. TBS Championship to Willow Nightingale. And CMLL title to Persephone. Now, look, even if she doesn't lose all the other ones on TV, or she's lost all the big ones, they've all been taped. We've all seen them. All of them. Now, look, I said from the beginning this would happen. I said from the beginning, Mercedes is doing a great job bringing a spotlight to these championships, bringing people to come and see her in person. Talked about little girls coming to see her, getting her autograph, all these things. And yet, people talked about, oh, she has creative control. Oh, and don't forget, forgot the big one. She lost to Toni Storm in Texas. The big card. All those people. Baseball stadium. Anybody say anything? I remember reading all over social. Oh, Mercedes this, Mercedes that. All these titles. Hogan, creative control, blah, 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 blah. And now, where are all these people? Anybody say they're wrong? Anybody? I don't see it. Maybe I missed it. I mean, had Wi-Fi on the ship. Didn't see it. Someone says, I was never ever a fan. What are you talking about? I praised Mercedes. No, dude, I praised Mercedes for everything. Absolutely, I did. No, absolutely. But, I'm just saying, Mercedes, look, this is the woman who did an amazing job putting over and making Bianca at WrestleMania in Orlando. Remember that? Dude, Mercedes is a pro. Mercedes loves wrestling, and she has no problem giving her spotlight and putting over people. She never has. The thing about the tag team titles in WWE was they had no plans for them. You know, Mercedes, Sasha, whatever you want to call her. Dude, she's a name. She's a star. She doesn't have a problem doing jobs when there's a point and it matters. But it's like when you have no plan for her and she's just doing nothing. She protected herself. Look, again, looking for those apologies for Mercedes Moné. People saying, what do you know? I was wrong. All right, it's going to be Cody and Randy at WrestleMania. Is that best in business? Talk about it next. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer.
All clear. There's no way they have Cody win that match, right?
We'll see. We'll see. Anyway.
I mean, I guess maybe if they want to extend the feud, like, out, but I feel like they'd do better job extending it if Randy wins with a punt.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of interference happening with Trick and Jacob Fatu and everybody. It's like, see what happens.
Yeah.
See what happens. So we shall see. We shall see.
I would love to see a Randy heel run, though.
He may be at that Ric Flair stage. I don't know. He could be maybe he can be a heel, but he might be at that Ric Flair stage where it's just like he's been around so long that
everybody loves him. And
everybody loves him,
yeah.
yeah. But Randy's pretty good at that, so I don't know. What do people in chat think? In theory, could Randy be a heel again? Or would people just cheer him because he's been around since their childhood? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he might have to be more of like an anarchist sort of, or
I just think he's,
yeah. Like a vigilante that people love, but like,
Kevin Abreu, my friend. The proof is, go back and listen. Check my social. It's all out there in public. It's all there. So it's all there. Yep. So, who would you like to see, Kevin? So you want to move on? I think that's fair. Who would you like to see? I think it's totally fair. I think it's a fair statement.
It's fair. The problem is Triple H seems to love to take care of the guys that have been there for...
Right, but I mean, from WWE perspective, it's like, you can't just give a new guy. I mean, WrestleMania main event is a big deal. And, what if they flame out?
Exactly.
Or what if they, you don't know.
All right, here we go. All
right.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
It's Wrestling Observer Live, Smackdown. Last night, Portland, Oregon. A friend of mine was down there. Matter of fact, apparently, he, when Cody threw Drew into the crowd, my friend had to get out of the way and to avoid Drew. And Drew's a big boy. So my friend says, he texted me this morning, should I sue Drew for falling on me? Funny. Anyway, my friend said, and he was in the crowd last night in Portland, super hot crowd. Show was a lot better than what the reviews were when I got home. So that's just in the arena review. Said biggest booze of the night. Both times they showed Jelly Roll, who's going to be on next week. But that's Portland, Oregon. So, apparently there's been, speculation about Jelly Roll's political leanings. So I could see Jelly Roll not necessarily being popular in Portland, Oregon, and maybe getting cheered in other cities. So I take that as you will. But obviously, the big news: new WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. Now, again, everybody complaining about Cody Hogan, and people photoshopping Cody to look like Hogan in matches or with the skullet, all that fun stuff. Now look, Cody, of course, is a top star. He's been a top star for a number of years now in WWE. And of course he has influence. But at the same time, Cody doesn't book. And look, I'm sure he didn't fight this as far as winning the title, of course. But I mean, look, someone in the chat says, what was it? Where was it? Where are you, Kevin? He wrote, where is he? There it is. 2016, 2026. Time to move on from nostalgic like Cena, Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, and many others. And a lot of people share that sentiment. He goes on to say, he'd like to see future talent carry the company. He's thinking, he says, suggests Obafemi, Trick's time to shine. No, someone else suggests that. And look, that is a very common sentiment. And it's funny to me how people always say, new talent, got to promote new talent. And that's true, you do. But from WWE management's perspective, WrestleMania is a big deal. It's the big deal. To main event WrestleMania is a huge deal. And maybe Trick will be a future superstar. Maybe Oba will be a future superstar. Certainly, you can see a lot of potential. Not doubting that in the least. But it's also about management. It's just like any other job. And you give it to Oba or whomever, and it's like, does that upset someone? And they leave or cause problems. Or, perhaps we discover later that Oba or Trick or whomever is injury prone, or maybe they're not as reliable in the long term as we need for a top talent. I'm just saying, from a management standpoint, perhaps it's a little early for that. I mean, it could go to their head. You don't know. So, I mean, you kind of go through a process with WWE. But obviously, they like what they see so far because Trick, had a interaction with Randy. He's done well. Obafemi is doing well. So, just as far as that goes, give it time. But I mean, WrestleMania is about mainstream. And even I said it a few weeks ago. It seemed like Randy Orton was kind of having a resurgence and kind of reheated again. Now, I didn't suggest he'd be in the main event or be champion, anything, but I did notice that and talk about it. So I'm not saying I predicted anything, but I certainly did notice that Randy seemed to be on a high note right now. So it's Randy Orton against Cody Rhodes. Two people. Randy Orton's been around 20 some years. Just by longevity. A lot of casual fans probably know his name. Cody, of course, he's been around and he's the guy. So, of course, a lot of fans know his name, and it makes sense. And Drew McIntyre. Drew has been great. I take nothing away from Drew McIntyre as a talent, as his instincts, everything. But WWE is, because of situations and circumstances, kind of done him dirty on booking. As far as losing and then getting the title, it's like he didn't really have momentum because injuries and things. Just Drew kind of got screwed on the deal. And that happens sometimes with WWE when you're a good soldier. We'll see what happens to Drew. Does he go to WrestleMania? Are he and Jacob Fatu going to fight? Is he going to be on the card? We'll just have to wait and see. But Smackdown, Randy Orton opens Smackdown. Trick comes out, and look, they like Trick. Crowd likes Trick, but for me, he was sounding a little too much like The Rock for my tastes. And that can be dangerous. I get it. He's popular right now, but as we've seen, people can turn in WWE. Fans can turn, and if he's doing Rock stuff, that can be a problem. That's what I'm saying. So I would pull back on that a little bit. Trick is not 6'5", even wearing his heels with the lemon pepper steppers. Not quite as tall as Randy. And I don't know why they bring this up. That is a bad look for a guy who's getting over. I don't know why they did that. That's bad. Very, very bad. Anyway, RKO leaves Trick laying. Randy's going to WrestleMania. Makes sense. And we'll see. Does that mean Randy wins and Trick maybe the first challenger? Or we'll see what happens. Carmelo Hayes, U.S. champion. Carmelo Hayes, a little bit bigger, just a little taller. I feel like he'd be more in that Trick Obafemi mix if he was just a little bit bigger, because I just feel like in many ways he's better. But I think the size is gonna kind of hold him back a bit. WWE. Open challenge, it's El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., who looked not so much. He looked kind of lethargic, kind of slow. It's just not great. Carmelo Hayes hit La Mystica, which Joe Test called the Dirty Diana. Okay. Nothing but net for the pin. Carmelo Hayes wins. They hold each other's hands up in a show of respect. Nick Aldis put R-Truth and Damian Priest together for a tag team turmoil match to be the #1 contenders. Big celebration for Lash Legend and Nia Jax, tag team champs. Charlotte and Alexa came out, then Julia and Kiana James. So Aldis made a match. Charlotte and Alexa and Kiana and Julia. Charlotte pinned Julia with the natural selection. Go, Julia. Got a video package of Jelly Roll congratulating Randy Orton. Jelly Roll's going to be there next week. Interview backstage with Cody Rhodes. Sammy came up and, ran through all of his recent drama and unselfishness and where it got him. And Cody just saw him as politicking for a title match. R-Truth and Damian Priest are now the new #1 contenders for the WWE titles after winning the Tag Team Turmoil title match. #1 contenders with a double pin on Angel and Berto after a South of Heaven and an AA respectively. So R-Truth and Damian Priest, last ones in the match, beat Los Garza, Motor City Machine Guns, Fraxium, and the Wyatt Six. So it looks like they're heading to face the MFTs. Randy and Sammy backstage. Randy is not cool with all of Sammy's complaints, says, you got to be selfish. And his advice, listen to the voices in your head. So is Sammy going to go crazy again? Is he going to do that gimmick? I don't know. Aleister Black then came in the picture, said, it's just the nature of the beast. All right. Rhea and Jade. Jade and Rhea. Shoot. Not a shoot. Tell you what, the promo was not good. Talk about that next. Jim Valley. Wrestling Observer.
All ends with beginning.
Oh, clear.
Yes, indeed. LA Knight does sound like Stone Cold. Yes. Yes, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What's up?
Oh, I'm just resting, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Making it through. Making it through. Making it through. Oh, goodness. I'm so tired. That was fun. You just go, go, go. But, I mean, the 80s cruise is expensive, but it's like you get your money's worth, I think. The price of concerts, I mean, if you work hard, you can probably go to like 40-some shows. But you got to stay up for the midnight stuff and pay attention because there's a lot of like different, they do jams and stuff and artists will get together. When I had the guy from Animotion on, he did the 80s cruise. And he was like, I don't get to see people like Sebastian Bach or whomever. It's like I just see all the kind of new wave-ish artists, on their tours because they're package tours. So it's like some people will go on stage and play with others just for fun. So it's kind of cool. So, yeah. Anyway. Did I give anyone the Boss Man Slam? I did not. But it was funny. There was a guy who was dressed up. Was it Miami Vice? He might have been Don Johnson or maybe just a Miami dude. And he hit a pretend baggie of cocaine. And so we took a picture of him holding the baggie and me like by a nightstick, pretending to arrest him. Soft Cell was a couple of years ago on the show. He came on and sang. We had Gary Newman, who sang Cars. And it's funny, the rest of his show sounded like 90s, like Alice in Chains or something. It was very 90s stuff. It's kind of funny. So, the artists often roam around. You get pictures with people, but they do have separate areas for the artists too. They need a break. So, but like I said, but the gimmick is to.
He's not on air, dude. He's talking back here.
Yeah, I'm just talking.
Pedro's like, I'm hearing two things. I'm like, yeah, because he's talking.
Yeah, I'm just talking.
You're not on air.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, though.
283.99.
Influence.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
Jim Valley. It's Wrestling Observer Live. Smackdown last night. Reports online are just like, meh. But my friend who was there said it was a hot show and better than online. And also, when Cody threw Drew into the crowd, that was my friend getting out of the way. So kind of funny. So Rhea and Jade had a segment. Dave Meltzer, as you know, they've been going back and forth on Twitter. And a lot of people believe it's a shoot. And, dude, they did this last year, remember? Tiffany, Charlotte, remember? Anyway, so Dave says, look, it's not a shoot. However, a lot of the criticisms for Jade are real. Like Jade didn't get over as big as expected, didn't improve in the ring. And like when the match with Shayna Baszler, as an example, she would blame partners when matches had issues. I mean, look, like I've said before, Jade is Jade. You're just going to get what you get, you know? But they went back and forth about who has bigger muscles. And it kind of almost reminded me of a Memphis promo where the big, strong guy says, oh, you're big, and Lawler would go, yeah, your muscles are bigger, but they're for show, and mine are for go, and da-da-da-da. It seemed very retro, the promo. And I don't know, not great. We'll see how this goes. But, you know, the original plan was supposed to be Bianca. So obviously Rhea is the backup, and Rhea's a big star. So, I mean, probably the best they could do. But, I mean, look, if anything happens in front of the public, 99% of the time, it's meant to be there. It's just always keep that in mind. Backstage, Johnny Gargano still laying on his face. They're talking to him, dude, you got to be Johnny Wrestling. Got to be that guy again. And he's like, he gets up, stands up, walks out to the crowd. Goes to the crowd. I've been one of the best in the world. Got to get over this. Da-da-da-da-da. Wrestles Obafemi. Squash. Done. There it is. A lot of people are worried that this may be Johnny's exit from the company. We shall see. Backstage, Aldis tells The Miz he's got to mentor somebody. Turns out to be Danhausen. Danhausen has his list of things he wants. Wants him to lead him to a WWE title of some sort. Also wants his own TV show, just like The Miz. And Miz is like, dude, I'm not going to frickin' mentor a goth kid that nobody invited to the party. And of course, Miz is not going to do it. Danhausen is going to curse Miz. And look, a lot of people were down on Danhausen after his debut at Elimination Chamber. And I said, look, Danhausen can turn it around. It's right there. It's on Blue Sky. You can look it up. I said he can turn it around. You know, not as many people see the PLEs anymore. And sure enough, he did. And he has. However, they've got to be careful. You know, I mean, I'm glad that they're giving him more things to do and more things to say. It's like part of my criticism with Danhausen, I like his idea that he doesn't take a lot of bumps, a lot of creativity, but it's like it's just him gibberish and not as many actual jokes or points. It's like better writing is what I'm looking for with the Danhausen character. And fingers crossed, we will get that here. But people love him now. I'm sure he's selling merch. He's over. Good for him. But it's like, you know, Jade, when she first came in, everyone was like, Jade, oh my gosh, look at that. F-U AEW. Look at her. Da-da-da. She's a star. And now people are like, Jade, meh. Cody, oh my gosh, she's the best. People a little burned out. You know, this is people. There's just a trend where that happens today. So I hope they're careful with Danhausen about that. And I know some people, you know, say, oh my gosh, Danhausen got a job. All because he's buddies with CM Punk. Dude. Welcome to the real world. People get their friends jobs. That's what happens. I've gotten my friends jobs. I've recommended them. That's what people do. That's what happens in the real world. You know, a lot of times, I can't say this with WWE, but in the real world, it's like bosses want it to be easy as possible. Oh, they've got a recommendation from this guy who's a star on my team, going to bring in another star. So it's like, I don't have to go through maybe as much, you know, vetting people if I get this kind of recommendation. You know, so that's what happens. Now, if you don't like CM Punk, you don't like Dana, that's totally your prerogative. But in the real world, that's just what happens. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you about that. That's just the way the world works. It's not unusual or different. That's just the way it is, baby. Main event. Cody pins Drew, win the WWE title. No big surprise there. All throughout the show, Drew was trying to talk Nick Aldis out of it, saying, look, Cody didn't win the Rumble, didn't win the Elimination Chamber. Now he gets a title match to go to WrestleMania. Call this off. This is wrong. Now, here we are. Cody's going to WrestleMania, and Drew, who knows what he's doing at WrestleMania. But I mean, WrestleMania is big names, it's big stars, and you've got to pick big names. But as somebody points out, we saw this match not that long ago at Night of Champions. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's true. And that's been kind of the problem with this WrestleMania build. I don't know if there's a story coming up. There's some big bow they're going to tie up where everything makes sense. But I don't really feel like there is. This just feels like they've changed directions a bunch because of injuries and other things. It's like they took Drew out of the title picture, losing. Oh, we need Drew. Got to heat Drew up again right away. Oh, let's just put the title on him. And it was like Drew carried freaking CM Punk in that feud last year. It was his Twitter work and mic work and creativity that did it. Punk was Punk. Drew was the fresh part of that feud. I'm sorry, but he was. And now, Drew, I'm losing, kind of has that not so fresh feeling. Mom, yeah, never mind. Suitably playing tennis and running on the beach. But look, it just, first Jacob Fatu was in, he grabbed the chair from Drew before he had Cody in the match. But it's like, Jacob Fatu looked like maybe he was going to be in the main event. Now he's not. Then it looked like this. Everything seems very disjointed. And it's like, this is not a very cohesive road to WrestleMania. We've taken a lot of dead ends, it seems. We've turned around a couple of times, taken some detours, stopped at rest areas, took a leak. It's like, this has not been a great, this road to WrestleMania feels like we're riding with the Griswolds on our way to Wally World. And Drew is so close to the gate. John Candy comes up and says, sorry, Drew, WrestleMania's closed. Moose should have told you. And look, and again, I think a lot of people like Randy. Randy is in the zone. I cannot deny that. He's been around forever. He's a big name. Cody's a big name. So it's like, for the casual fan, people know that match. Is it a draw? We shall see. Also, does anybody know, is this the first time a WWE title, like not the world title, not the big gold belt, because I think that changed hands before, but I think it's the first time WWE title has changed hands in Portland, Oregon. I believe, but maybe I'm wrong. If anyone knows, please tell me, because I'd like to know. Not enough to look it up, but I'd like to know. But it just feels like they're a little off their game as far as WrestleMania. And I understand there have been injuries and other situations. And also, I don't think it helps that you're going back to Las Vegas. And last year's WrestleMania, aside from Io Sky, who was awesome, Rhea Ripley, who was awesome, that main event left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. And that build left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. And going back there, it's like, there's still a little stink on it. Still a little stink on it. And you're like, well, this year the build is not so great. It's like, is there still stink on it? So we shall see. And it's like, same thing with Roman, Punk, big names, big stars. What are the stakes? Punk wins. Roman Reigns goes away, comes back at SummerSlam. Roman Reigns wins. Goes away for a while, comes back at SummerSlam. It's like, what are the stakes? It doesn't feel like, win or lose, there's really anything there. Same thing with Randy and Cody. They're both big stars. They will both remain big stars no matter what happens. It's like, is Drew going to interfere? Cost Cody. Jacob going to interfere? They both going to be there? It's like, it felt like they were going to do something with Jacob Fatu, and now he's just an outlier. I don't know. It kind of felt initially like, yeah, like people said in the chat, there were going to be some young stars doing something, but now they're not really doing anything. So we shall see, but I still believe there's a changing of the guard coming. Maybe they're just postponing it because of ticket sales and various other situations. Someone says, Johnny Wrestling got the jobber treatment. He has to be on the way out. It's just interesting. You got Danhausen now doing comedy and people like that. It's like people did like Kit Wilson doing comedy. It's like, does that push him down the ladder? He's no longer the shiny new comedy toy. Johnny Gargano doing the laying down the face down comedy thing. Does that push him down the comedy gimmick? All because of Danhausen. A lot of ironic things, maybe, getting shoved down. All right, stand by. It's Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live.
Oh, clear.
Yep.
Hey, airline travelers, let's say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation. What do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, or add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. So now you can make one phone call regardless of who booked your airline tickets, and we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secrets to fixing reservations that the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify an existing airline reservation, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. That's 855-325-5647.
Hello, Americans. It's Uncle Sam here. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS or state, don't worry. I've got important news that may help you negotiate a lower tax bill. In today's economy, the IRS has released a variety of new rules and is offering more flexible terms to help Americans looking to settle their IRS debt. If you apply today, we may be able to lift your wage garnishments and release a freeze on your bank assets or business. Our team of tax professionals can resolve your case and stop collection actions against you. Even if you've been audited or haven't filed a return in years, they can help. Call right now and find out if you qualify to settle your IRS debt for far less than what you owe. Pick up your phone right now and call us for a free $500 IRS tax review. Don't wait. Here's the number.
Call right now. 800-943-9215. 800-943-9215. 800-943-9215. Again, for the last time, that's 800-943-9215.
I've got a question for you. Do you want a lower car payment just by making a phone call? You know, most people buy a car and they pay whatever the car dealer says their interest rate is, and they forget about it and make payments. But did you know there is a secret in your contract that allows another company to refinance any car payment to try and lower it? It's true. There is indeed a company out there that knows the ins and, more importantly, the outs on car loans, and they know how to lower your current car payments. It's easy and fast, and you could have a lower car payment next month. Make this free call right now and find out if you could lower your existing car payment. Call the Car Savings Hotline right now. The call is free.
Call now. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. That's 800-605-1680.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
Good Valley, Wrestling Observer Live. Some of the chat asks, what are they doing with Gargano? And where are the Street Profits? Questions you could ask pretty much any show, anytime. Someone also wants to know about Demolition in the Hall of Fame. Way overdue. Absolutely. Of course, Bill Eadie, years ago, part of the lawsuit suing WWE, so that kept them out. But obviously, I guess with Triple H, enough time has gone by that they have decided to do that. I mean, Vince tried to get the Road Warriors for years, and they kept saying no. And so he essentially created his own Road Warriors. And at first there was backlash from the fans, but over time, you know, Demolition got over. Way over. 3-time WWE champions. First time, I believe, to three-peat, I believe. First 3-time tag team champions in WWE. And they were super over it. WrestleMania 6 and other places. And, you know, they got over on their own. Even Road Warriors admitted that. And so, you know, good for them. You know, a lot of times Vince will, as WWE has, used characters, created their own when certain wrestlers said no. And oftentimes it works because when you're on the big platform, that's what happens. And a lot of fans literally thought when LOD came into WWE that they were imposters because they never watched Crockett or any other wrestling. And again, WWE is the best. If you're not in WWE, well then you must not be the best. So anyway, congratulations. Barry Darso's supposed to be the nicest guy in the world. So good for him. Good for Bill Eadie. Sticking up for himself and still it's be in the Hall of Fame again. Pure success story. Congratulations to Dibble. All right. I can't believe I made it. I'm dying. I'll take a nap. Anyway, thank you for being here. Maybe I'll stick around for a little while and chat. And we should be able to talk to you next week. I'll give you for next couple of months. All right. Remember, you're only wrestling. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer. There you go. All right. We survived, Daniel. Thanks, man. There we go. All right. Yes, there it is. Oh, you didn't realize? Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, you're not the only one. You are not the only one who thought that. So, yeah. That's what happens. No, I mean, I remember Demolition gave promos talking about Road Warriors being Demolition ripoffs. And as a kid, I saw that as heat, that they're heels and lying. But a lot of people probably saw it as legitimate. But, you know, when you are number one, that's the advantage you have. And it's not a complaint, you know. When you have the big pulpit and the big platform, you can do that. So it's just the way it is. So New Japan having money issues. Their main talent leaving, coming to states. I wouldn't say money issues, but I mean, certainly given, their gates and things like that, certainly they're not able to pay as much as others. I mean, they don't have TV deals, big, rich, fat TV deal like AEW or WWE or even, $10 million one like TNA. So that's, they issues, I wouldn't say issues, but I would say they certainly have less money to play with and spend than other competitors. So that's going to happen. But also, a lot of talent was not happy with ownership and management for a while. So yeah, also Japan having issues with the dollar as well. The yen is weak against the dollar. That's certainly another problem. Thank you for reminding me of that. Appreciate it, Crash. Yeah, so I mean, that's just kind of the deal. I mean, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's very interesting. As far as David Finlay, I mean, look, I can see both ways. They wanted him. You go to NXT, you establish this faction of, we'll just call them second generation stars. Even though David's 4, we'll just call them next generation, whatever you want to call them, just for brevity's sake. I get that. Then it's like they get over in NXT, they're a big deal in NXT, and people are excited for them on the main roster. Oh my gosh, here are these guys that rough shot in NXT to build a reputation, build a name, and it's a big deal in the roster. I get that. Okay. I also get that David Finlay, his brother, is in NXT. His dad is in WWE for years. I mean, again, he's 4th generation. He knows what's up. And, he's got a kid who wants to make some money. So I personally think he made the right move. Personally. I mean, but also I could see him in theory, and this is not an exact comparison, okay? I could see him in a Seth Rollins role in WWE. There's this guy, great wrestler. Can David do a lot of comedy or do whatever they want? Is versatile as Seth? Don't know. But, I can see, what I'm saying, the comparison. But also he's not, his size, his style, just to me, he makes more sense for AEW. But that's kind of what I feel. Yeah. So I do not like him just calling the dogs. I just think that's I don't know how many dogs or dog or whatever I've seen in wrestling, but that never quite works out. So that's kind of, I don't know, my thought as far as that goes. Where was it? Yeah, War Dogs. It's copyrighted. I mean, you could call them the Strategic Combat Operation Dogs. Somebody suggested the Battle Dogs, like Battletoads on Blue Sky. The Regime Change Dogs. I like that one. That's pretty funny. Someone says Raw Dogs. I don't know if they can do that for, if you want to call them Raw. WWE. But it says Paw Patrol. Oh, probably copyrighted. War Wolves. And then someone suggested the Department of War Dogs. Again, 5 stars. 5 stars. Yeah, I'm sure New Japan owns the rights to War Dogs or something along those lines. So, I don't know. Anyway, so it's just the mutts. Populated trick. Put a belt on him. You can put a belt on someone. That means they got to lose too. I mean, he's a babyface, kind of. I mean, I don't even know. It feels like they stick him in heel roles, but it comes off as a babyface, Trick does. So it's like you put him in with Carmelo Hayes, and does that hurt Carmelo Hayes? Or you get the belt off Carmelo and have him beat, I don't know, somebody else. Look, Trick is very popular. I'm not going to tell you he's not. He's super over. He does get big pops. No one is not denying any of that. Look, his wrestling, I worry people haven't noticed yet, but they noticed eventually with Jade. They could notice. It's like, you don't want to let him, he needs to get better. I think, he's kind of not, in my opinion, fans haven't noticed, and that's fine. That's wrestling. That's what wrestling's about. But it's like, he's over. You don't want to expose that yet because he's over and you don't want to lose that investment. So I would be careful as far as protecting him in the ring for right now. That's my personal opinion. And again, I'm not saying he can't get better or he won't get better. I'm sure they're working on it, and we'll see what happens. But I would just be careful for his own benefit, so the crowd doesn't turn on him and he's screwed, because he's got something. Absolutely, he's got something. So you want to protect that. So I think that's why you're seeing more mic work and not as many matches, which is good. Keep him special. But yeah, I didn't, the lemon pepper steppers and the 6'5" thing. I'm like, what is that about? I don't know. Brody King's a shoe-in for that faction with the hoof. Yeah. So funny. So funny. Anyway, I had a story, but I can't tell it. It's not about wrestling. Anyway, yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, Department of War Dogs, I think, is super funny. Oh, speaking of Department of War Dogs, didn't get a chance to talk about Zoe Hines, niece of RFK Jr., who says the administration, which must mean Linda McMahon, helped get her into NXT. Again, like I said, look, people get people jobs. I think the administration has better things to do, but hey, maybe some downtime. Drink some red wine. Yeah, I just, we'll see if she goes. I mean, they'll probably change her name, and maybe fans won't realize the connection and she'll be fine. Or maybe they will. Dude, what? If I'm her, why? There are much easier ways for a young woman in her position, to make a lot of money. Get in on the rug pull, the crypto scams. Dude, get a sweet administration job. Dude, what? Why? Dude, why? There's much better ways to earn a job than hurting your body and being on the road all the time. I mean, yeah, you make money and you're famous and all that stuff, but my goodness, why? But okay, well, good for her. Good for her. Yeah. Can I get you a job? I get you a job. I don't know that you want one, but no, I mean, it is what what it is. You apply for something, I will certainly say nice things about you. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe she'll make a great NXT general manager. I don't know. But it's like, but if she's great, good for her. But, will crowds react accordingly? More than likely, I think they will. But you never know. But if she's not any good, then what do? Just make her NXT GM? Make her like a Kiana James mouthpiece? I don't know. I don't know what kind of aptitude she has. We shall see. I was wondering, though, what would her finish? What would her finish be called? People were suggesting. I suggest what? The anti-vax QAnon bomb, ivermectin driver, social security snatcher. Someone else on Blue Sky said the ivermectin, the raw milk lariat. She's going to vaccinate her opponents, who will then die. Maybe a version of the belly to back suplex called Just Eat Liver. The brain worm buster. She definitely won't do the lethal injection. Brain worm, and someone suggested the throat punch. So have all kinds of fun with that. Hey, if it was the 80s, she'd see all kinds of people. Just like her uncle with leathery skin. So, but I don't know. What do you guys think about WrestleMania so far? The way it's stacking up. You guys have any thoughts as far as that goes? What am I doing? Oh, heavens. Yep, I'm here. There we go. All right. I don't know. It just feels, it just feels like it wasn't a road to get here, It's like when they did All In, it was a road from Death Riders, John Moxley. And we saw how we went to Adam Page. Even with the Will Ospreay injury, it was a road, and there was the ending. Boom. The big tap out. And it was satisfying. It's like, I don't know. And it's like every year, I don't care for the Elimination Chamber this way either. Because it's like, okay, you're the second place winner. You're number 2. Congratulations. But it's just like, it's not really a road. It's like, we know who the big stars are. We know who's likely going to go. And it happens this way most every year. It's like, even though people say, oh, what if Obafemi does this? Or Trick Williams does that? Or LA Knight. It's like, dude, when has that happened? And I'm not, like I said, I explained kind of why it shouldn't, but it's like, I don't know. It's like Drew and Randy, where was the build for this? And CM Punk, Roman Reigns, yeah, they're big stars, but where's the build? Where's the stakes? There's no stakes. As far as who wins, who loses, what does it matter? Because these guys are always in the mix. They're always on top. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's like for these matches, it doesn't build any heat or anticipation. And home of last year's WrestleMania, which was kind of ended poorly. It's like, I don't know. Feels like they should try to make up for that. And it feels like they haven't. And with prices the way they are, I guess they've dropped some prices recently. Is that right? Is that correct? So I don't know. Also, Road Dogg, Brian James, resigns apparently, reportedly, from WWE. Apparently his review, I guess, allegedly not great. And look, I'll be honest, I don't get the whole thing with Road Dogg. It's like, dude has been around wrestling before he was born. And I don't get the struggle. And they have the new woman who's in charge. Alexandra Williams, who's been around for a while. Now she's in charge of Raw. So we'll see how that goes. People think he'll be back. His ass better call somebody. I mean, I don't understand why he didn't thrive more in the environment, given his tremendous background in wrestling and his family and all of that. So we shall see. Hey, there's a question I had. Thank you for reminding me. Interested to see Finn and Dom at WrestleMania? Would Dom be more interesting in a main event at WrestleMania? Now, granted, maybe a lot of casual fans may not necessarily know who he is, but would that be interesting? Would that be more compelling as far as what happens next? I've thought about that. I was like, maybe he should have been the guy. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Finn and Dom. It just feels like it's been a pat hand for so much stuff for so long. You know? And remember when the Motor City Machine Guns came in? First night. WWE champions. Oh my gosh. They made the best decision ever. WWE. Big stars. Championships. First night. Big deal. And now they're just there. I mean, it's like, you gotta give people time to let things shake out and see what happens. A lot of people come in. It's like the Royal Rumble. Come in with a big splash and then eventually get eliminated. You know, it's like you can't just react yet. It's what I said on Blue Sky as far as Danhausen. It's like, oh my gosh, he bombed. Elimination Chamber was bomb. Terrible. It's gonna fail. It's like, no. He can still turn it around. And I did. And it's right here. You can see it. See what I say. What did I say? Let's find out. What did that Jim Valley say about Danhausen? Let's take a look here. Let's see. What did I say? Oh, Ricky Saints. We need to talk about Ricky Saints. All right. Oh, heavens. Heavens. Let's see. Oh, goodness. Boy. Funny. Oh, there it is. Here it is. This was from 4 days ago. Just because the crowd, so this is before Raw, before he was on Raw, just because the crowd didn't get Danhausen at first, doesn't mean he's never getting over in WWE. Remember the debut of the New Day? Few changes, her top merch sellers. Io Sky didn't connect till she did her infectious smile and her pointing at her head. I said Danhausen can also turn it around. There it is. But then I also said, just like, don't expect, just like Danhausen can turn around, he can also get burned out on people. So be careful and try to keep it fresh. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, Roman Reigns talking about virgins in their mom's basement. The promo. That's the good writing for WrestleMania. Virgins in their mom's basement. Boy, that stung. Haven't heard that a million times. Oh my goodness. Anyway, what was the other thing I wanted to mention? Oh, yes. Oh, how about this? The legend, Bull Nakano, buying a Super Famicom, wants to get a CRTV. What a legend. If Bull Nakano isn't on your GOAT list, your list sucks. So, okay, Ricky Starks. Talked about Ricky Starks. Look. So Ricky Starks comes out and does a rock concert. I don't know if they thought that was heat, because he's doing the rock thing and he looks like Little Rock and at times he's trying to impersonate Rock. It's like, I don't know if they think the heat is that. Oh my God, what a bad idea. Oh, and I guess they deleted the video from YouTube. But I'm like, that is a career killer. I know a lot of people are big fans of Ricky Starks. So it's like, that is a career killer to do that. Because you can't, dude, Rock's greatest of all time. I'm sorry. You can't do that. Look, like I've said at the beginning, he has talent, good looking guy. Maybe doesn't have WWE size, but just, dude, you got to be consistent each and every time to build momentum. You know? And I just don't know, can you succeed in WWE looking like a smaller version of their most famous living legend? You remember Miz from his MTV Road Rule days would impersonate Rock. The Miz was the Rock on MTV, basically. Smell the Miz cooking, all this, all that stuff. And first thing gets WWE, they said, knock that shit off. And so he had to come up completely different. And it's like, I feel bad for Ricky Starks. Whoever came up with that idea, it's like, do they not like him? I get he's Joe Hendry and singing and stuff, but it's like, that is way too close to a Rock signature bit for a guy who looks like him. You know, Elias can do it because he doesn't look like Rock. There's no comparisons there, but Ricky Starks, it's like a Vince Russo gimmick. It's like when Petey Williams was Little Papa Pump, or Brad Armstrong copied his brother, or all those copycat gimmicks that Vince Russo did. It just feels literally, I know a lot of people always say that when it's not, but literally feels like a Russo idea to have him be Little Rock. And that's just, you don't want to be that. So, yeah, that was, oof. I know, exactly. Yeah, why are they rehashing most successful gimmick from 25 years ago? Yeah. Yeah. That's Rock can't do the Rock well enough these days. That's funny. But yeah, I saw it all over. Edge was right. All this stuff. It's like, look, I get you're influenced. That's understandable. However, same thing. And I felt Trick Williams was a little rock-like, rock-ish, rock-adjacent when he was talking to Randy Orton. Just like, probably should try to not do that. But I mean, at least he doesn't look like him. But still, I was just kind of like, maybe do something else. So I don't know. We shall see. But it just feels like there's just what is causing this road to WrestleMania to being so bumpy. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, that was the 90s. Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing. That's a good point. The 90s, it's not the 90s. I'm not the guy to talk as far as what kids want. But it's like, is that what modern, that demo wants? That 1825, 1835? Is that what they want? Is that relatable? I'm not the guy to say. But it's like, that's what they should be doing. And not, I mean, it's like, yeah, you can borrow from people, but especially with Rock, because he's so famous, you got to be careful about that. Everybody borrows. So just be careful. He gets brain farts. Feels like there's something going on. It's like, this has not been a very cohesive road to WrestleMania. And it's kind of the second year in a row. So it's like, I don't know. It's like, I realize a lot of WrestleMania sells itself, but I don't know. So, I don't know. It just feels like there's something. It's like, is there like management interference? I don't know. There's distractions. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, exactly. It's just, it's funny. Going on the 80s cruise, they show these videos. My God, they're primitive. And just other things like that. They show the movies and, you realize things, and you're just like, oh my God, wow. It's, how do I put this? Yeah, a little oversexed. Well, a lot, actually. Just like, oh my gosh, and look, I'm no prude, but I'm just like, wow, that's bad. That's not good. Oh, how about that UFC fight? The White House lawn. That is, I personally feel like if whatever's going on in Iran, whatever you want to call it, I don't know that doing a fight on the White House lawn is a good idea, but maybe that's just me. I do want to mention Janelle Grant. Where is that? Janelle Grant talked about WWE never responded to police after intimidation report. Janelle Grant, her attorney, testified for the Connecticut Labor and Public Employees Committee on March 2nd, last Monday. Grant and her attorney, Erica Nolan, urged lawmakers pass legislation that would prevent the use of workplace NDAs to silence victims of misconduct. During her testimony, Grant said she filed a police report the past week due to online intimidation tactics she believed could have jeopardized her safety. Said police took a report, contacted WWE regarding the matter. Grant added that the police report notes WWE never responded to the officer's call. You think want to deny it or something? Yeah, so this is a quote from Ms. Grant. This past week alone, filed a police report because I noticed some intimidation tactics online playing out that were potentially going to pose a threat. She mentioned threat in that public statement, talked about it a couple of weeks ago. I don't think anyone else talked about it. No one else seemed to notice that. Anyway, intimidation tactics online playing out, potentially going to pose a threat, jeopardize my safety in some way that I could not ignore. Call the police. They took a report. The officer reached out to WWE and to the state. When I got the report yesterday, WWE did not return the officer's phone call. Anyway, so she talks about NDA. She can't talk about anything. So, I mean, they do need to probably make some changes. And look, people need to read the report and understand history. You know, people want to just focus on her and just one thing, and there's a much broader horizon to see. So, but yeah, so poor woman. Someone says, Crash TV 83 says, I loved ECW in the 90s. A lot of that wouldn't work well now, especially the promos. Yeah. Joel Gertner and things. Yeah, speaking of ECW, they had a cancellation on the 80s cruise. Cool Modi canceled. Last minute, they brought in DJ Cool, whose hit, Let Me Clear My Throat, was a 90s song. However, he played some 80s stuff. His whole set is just, and this is with a lot of the rap artists we see on the ship, a lot of the set is just them mixing and covering other songs for 45 minutes. Then they get to their hits. Good night, 80s cruise. So he sang Let Me Clear My Throat. You remember the Blue Meanie, his interest music is DJ Cool, Let Me Clear My Throat. Well, Blue Meanie's from Philly. DJ Cool's from Philly. And the dude is hilarious. Where did my phone? I'll show you this in a second. Anyway, I always assumed, Blue Meanie would do the meanie dance. I always assumed that they must have met or done something together or crossed paths or whatever. So when I went up and talked to DJ Cool, I was like, oh yeah, Blue Meanie, da-da-da-da. And seemed a little like, what? And I just assumed that I was messaging Blue Meanie. We're friends on Facebook and stuff, and I've worked with him a couple times. Nice guy. Seen him at Colorful Rally and things. But he was like, no, we've never met. I was like, you were kidding me. I went up there. I felt like so stupid. But yeah. He had never met him. So I went up and saw him later when I got a chance. And we talked a little bit. and I explained about, Blue Meanie. And I showed him Blue Meanie's Facebook page. And no, he goes, dude, I did something with Randy Savage. I did something with, and he knew wrestling because they talked about, hey, remember how popular wrestling was when, Let Me Clear My Throat hit? And he was like, oh yeah, man. And he was totally chill. He was totally cool. And so he got the picture with Blue Meanie's Facebook page from my thing, from my Facebook. And hopefully they will maybe connect in the future. So we shall see, but do my best. So it was, this is funny. It was Punks and Preps night. So I was dressed up as Prep and got my fake brick phone there, you can see, which is kind of funny. But I saw DJ Cool in the casino. Guy is cool as hell. Cool, nice guy. Super good guy. Anyway, so I go, hey, you want to take a picture with the phone? Look at this. Look how funny that is. Look at that. It's so funny. What a great sense of humor. So he goes, dude, send me. So I had him punch his email into my phone and go, whatever email you want, I'm not going to bug you. But so he wanted the picture, which is pretty funny. So yeah, I mean, that picture, hilarious. So funny. So yeah, but yeah, he's a good guy. Fun show. Lots of waving your hands in the air. After a while, I did care. Bursitis, all that stuff. Met Master G, not George Wells, but from, Sugar Hill Gang, the legend, guy who started it all. His real name, I guess I never bothered to look it up. Guy O'Brien. His name's whiter than I am. But yeah, I mean, got pictures with a bunch of people. People chill on the cruise. They're super cool about everything, for the most part. Yeah, lots of waving like you don't care. But after a while, you do care because it hurts. But yeah, I mean, the 80s cruise is a lot of fun. I mean, like I said, the artists mingle. They do Q&As with the artists. People talking. Like OMD, they're pretty funny. My wife loves OMD, so she got a picture with one of the guys. Yeah, I mean, without even trying, you could see 20-some concerts. Not even trying. And with trying, probably up into the 40s. And with the price of concerts these days, it's all right. You get your money's worth. They have tons of contests, interactions. Like I said, a lot of the artists mingle. Some of them, like Bret Michaels is so big, he probably can't just walk around the ship. There'd be a mob. But I mean, a lot of them do. A lot of them are just chill. You can just take a picture. Totally cool. A lot of people come to the bar. You can talk to them. Totally cool. No, it's fun. Daz Band was on. And they talked about, funk. It doesn't need to be loud. And they did some smooth groove, smooth jam song. And I saw them later at the buffet and I told them, I learned something last night. Your show is entertaining and educational. I learned funk. It doesn't need to be loud. And I thought that was the funniest thing. So you can have fun. And they're totally cool. They'll tell stories, they'll talk. And what always happens is there's always surprises. For me, A Quiet Riot was a big surprise. They were a big hit when I was like in junior high. And I think I had the tape. But I remember, the Come On Feel the Noise was a Slade song, different band. And a few Quiet Riot songs were Slade songs. Slade Riot's very fun, very poppy music. And I always remember from Quiet Riot, what I remember is liking the Slade songs and not so much Quiet Riot songs. That's what I remember. And I was like, okay, we're going to see these guys. And they have one member, Rudy Sarzo, who's a legend, from not the original band, but the band when it hit. And, he was in Ozzy's band. Randy Rhodes were good friends, all that stuff. So, and then they have all the other members. One guy's been in the band, guitar player's been in the band 20 years, 23 years. And he was there when Kevin Dubrow, the lead singer, started it up the second time in the 2000s. And so I assume he's the guy who, is in charge. But it's like the new lead singer, in my opinion, is better. I think the band altogether was better, in my opinion. So I was like, dude, it's a great show. Never drug. Songs were a slog. I had a great time. There's also a drunk woman from Kentucky who was hilarious. Bang your head. Go to bang your head. This is my thing now. I think it was her first cruise. This is my thing. I'm going to make this my thing. Hilarious. People on the cruise, pretty chill, pretty cool. What else was surprising? No Wasp wasn't there. Downtown Julie Brown, MTV VJ, Mark Goodman, Alan Hunter, MTV VJs are there. Julie Brown interviewed Taylor Dane, who had hits in the late 80s, early 90s. True story. My late brother and his widow, when they were dating back then, they loved her and her music so much, they named their daughter Lindsay Taylor after Taylor Dane. And Taylor Dane, that's not her real name. I know you're shocked. She got the name from Dee Snider of Twisted Sister. He gave Taylor Dane her name. And years ago when I was in radio, I interviewed Dee Snider and I told him this. And he was so funny. He goes, well, I would be happy and proud to be a godfather to your niece, ready to be a positive influence. I think he said like a godly manner, just all this. It was so funny. It was so funny. Died laughing. But Julie Brown interviewed Taylor Dane, and they go way back. And they're good friends and have obviously gotten in a lot of trouble together. They're giggling about things. What about this and that? And Taylor Dane mentioned something about Mick Hucknall from Simply Red. If you don't know who that is, go ahead and look him up. He looks like Sideshow Bob. I wonder, so she definitely implied that she implied something about Simply Red. So I wonder if she has a Sideshow Bob fetish. But anyway, and then she mentioned something about Joe Jett and Billy Idol. And I'm like, this is a compliment. This is a compliment. I'm not talking about, I know people made fun of plastic surgery and things. This is not about that. This is about the personality, the attitude, dropping celebrity dish stuff, things like that. She reminded me as a comedian, like Joan Rivers, like the way she was dishing about shit. The I didn't give a crap attitude, everything. It was hilarious. So I run into Julie Brown in the elevator and I just say, dude, you kill it every time. Because some of the introductions, these crews, suck because these people don't prepare. Seriously, I know a bunch of people still in radio. They may not be as famous. They do a much better job. I can find boom, 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 like that. Get it done. Anyway, but Julie, what a pro. Every time, boom, nails it every time. And I told her that. And then I mentioned all the trouble she got out of Taylor Dane. And it was funny because on the stage, Julie Brown was getting a little, says, my husband's here. And by the way, her husband. But she goes, honey, I love you. So she's in the elevator with her husband. And as I walk out of the elevator, door's about to shut, I turn around and I go, Billy Idol, really? I couldn't resist. But I don't know. She was so vague about it. I don't know. Was it Taylor Dane? Julie, was it? I don't know. Was it both? I don't know, but it was hilarious. But clearly, these women have had a lot of fun. They're that good of friends. And some people didn't like the interview, feeling they were left out. I thought it was hilarious. Thought it was very, very funny. OMD was a surprise. OMD, new wave band, bunch of hits in the 80s. Pretty in Pink soundtrack, all the Molly Ringwald movies, and the guys all over the stage dancing. I didn't expect that. Very energetic, a lot of fun. Men Without Hats, remember Safety Dance? That dude is hilarious. Look, I cannot recommend enough. If you get a chance to see that guy, Ivan Dvorchak, something like that, go see him because he's all over the stage. He's very funny. It's very upbeat. It's fun. Yeah, they play Enola Gay. They do all the. Go see OMD is fun in concert. They're very funny, kind of cheeky British guys who've been friends since like they were 7. And I guess they did great Q&A, and they were very funny. But that was more energy than I expected. But what you do is you do 2 concerts a night. There's one in the big theater, like OMD, like an artist who has, say, 3 to 5, 6 hits. They're the big theater. Artists who may have 3 or less, 2, 1, stuff like that. They're in the ice arena. It's a little smaller. Or oftentimes, because you can take the seats out of the ice arena, people can dance. A lot of times, a band you want to dance to or rock out to, they'll put there. Like Quiet Riot filled the ice arena. And some people are saying, oh, they were good enough for the big arena, big, whatever you want to call it, big room. But look, I thought that initially first, but don't get tied up in this is number 1, this is number 2. It's like for a rock show to be right on top of them, you can be right up front, you can dance, you can move around, great energy because you're so packed in there. It felt like a rock club. So I was like, I think I get what people are saying, but I think for a rock band, I think it was better, in my opinion. But yeah, they filled the place, which surprised me. But I guess with the cruise, with Bret Michaels, the headliner, of course you're going to get a lot of rockers. Oh my God, does that guy have fans? Oh my word. I totally see why he held out more money for Poison, because he deserves it. But it's a lot of fun. If you like the 80s, you like dress up. Also, on the cruise, I met a guy by the name of Mike Rand, who is a 30-year Wrestling Observer subscriber. And he watches everything. New Japan, all kinds of stuff. Everything. So what a cool guy. So I got to meet him. And I got to be honest, because it doesn't bother me. I can say this. He knew who I was. He reached out to me. He knows the name, Chip Valley. He's heard me before, but he doesn't regularly listen to the show. And I'm totally get it. Totally fine with that. That's totally fine. Anyway, but what a nice guy. Totally cool. They did do a 90s cruise, same company, but they didn't get enough interest last time, so they're going to go back to the drawing board, try to retool it. But if you're interested in 80s stuff, you have the money. It is a great time. It's a lot of fun, and it's very busy. Next year, they got Shaka Khan, Loverboy, Public Image Limited, which is John Lydon. Johnny Rodden's going to be on board. And Striper. And Bob Geldof. Shit, that's pretty cool. Also DJ Jazzy Jeff. Slim Jim Phantom from the Stray Cats. So probably somebody else singing Stray Cat music. A few other people. It's cool. So I don't think we're going next year because we have other plans, but we'll probably get back sometime. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, PIL are cool. So they're there. Anyway, so they try to do a mix. Some hip hop, some rock, some synth, all that stuff. So they try to do a mix of things. And, and it's challenging too because, you're not getting Def Leppard on there. You're not getting Duran Duran. some of the bigger acts who can tour on their own, they're probably not going to get on. But it's still Nile. Oh, we had what's his face? We had Nile Rodgers from Chic. Oh my God, it was so good. Oh my God, it was great. So great. He's like a level above everybody. His performances, it was amazing. Billy Ocean was there. He was great. Sounds great and everything. It's what I do. It's my voice. Sorry. It's the way I talk. I apologize. Why I'm whispering. That's why. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes turning heel. Possibly. I mean, at this age, this stage in his life, can you turn Randy Orton heel? I'm not saying he couldn't do all the heel stuff, but is he at that Ric Flair legend stage where fans grew up with him? They all know Randy Orton. What do? Can he turn heel? I don't know. I mean, like I said, he can go through the motions, but would it work? That's my question. Cody Rhodes turning heel? Yeah, he could do it. But it's like, again, this road to WrestleMania, it's like, well, he's a little heelish here. He's not heelish here. He's just getting retribution here. He's not, it's like, there's not a clear path to all this. He could turn heel, certainly. But it's like, it's been so, is he, isn't he? It's not the right way to build it and sell it. It can happen, but I just don't know. I don't know how people take to it. It's like he's still pretty popular. I get, certainly there's a little booing and some reaction to that, but outside of, hardcore fans, is he still pretty popular? I don't know. Maybe it needs more time to take. Well, I'll say, yeah, and Cody and Randy have fought so many times. That's true. They just fought it. Bill mentioned it, Night of Champions. Yeah. So, I don't know. Well, I get that this is a big match, but a lot of these things, like Drew's been watered down. Randy lost. Has he been watered down? Have they reheated him enough? Some people you can reheat. Some people you can't. Some people are pizza. Some people are not. I don't know. What are the stakes? Do they have enough time to put some sort of major stake, major something in the Cody and Randy Orton match? Would it have helped for Cody to have been champion this whole time? So it's more impressive. I don't know. It just feels like it's not a plan. Like I said, this road to WrestleMania has been like riding with the Griswolds. And Edna dies. Didn't expect that. Dog peas on the sandwich. Didn't expect that. Right? Get to WrestleMania. Drew? Oh, sorry, Drew. WrestleMania's closed. Main event's closed. Moose outside should have told you. It's totally National Lampoon's road to WrestleMania. So, yeah, zero momentum. And there's just been, is it going to be, what's his face? Sorry, Jacob Fatu? Nope, he's not in it. It's going to be whomever. It's like, is Cody turning heel? He's not sure. Oh, wait, no, he's not. This week he's not. This week, oh, maybe he is. Oh, Jacob Fatu's going to be in the match. Oh, nope. No, he's not. Looks like Drew McIntyre's going to defend. Nope. No, he's not. And it's just, if this was the plan, I don't understand why someone didn't stand up and say, yeah, this is a little confusing to follow. And it just feels like they're just, I have a hard time believing this is the plan. And I understand injuries and things, maybe some changes, but not that many. You know, AEW was able to do a consistent road to All In. And maybe with injuries to Will, they put in Hangman, or they just felt the crowd and said, that's the guy. But either way, even with problems, they still told pretty consistent story. You know, Mercedes won all year, lost to Tony. Consistent story. It's like, boy, for people who say AEW doesn't have stories, those are people who don't watch, who just listen or read what people say. So, anyway, we'll see. They've got, how much time I got? What is today? Today's the 8th, so I got like a month? Yeah, I got like a month. Okay, well, we got a month. We got like 4 weeks or whatever it is. And we'll see what happens in 4 weeks. Can they heat this up? And it's like, this doesn't feel, 4 weeks is a build to like every pay-per-view. Not a build to WrestleMania. It's like, okay, Roman won the Royal Rumble and he's top guy. We get that, but it's like, what was his story? And I get it was supposed to be Seth, and now it's Punk. But it's like, you still have a little time to, I don't know, do something. But it is what it is. Well, hopefully they can turn it around. I mean, I wish him well. My reaction to Lex Luger's return, TNA back in the day, he was humongous. He was humongous. He was clearly kind of a mess. And when he, what do you call him, AC Styles? Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. So there you go. Yeah, there's still time to pull a rabbit out of the hat. We shall see. Anyway, kids, I should wrap up. Probably get the show uploaded for people, so they can hide it later. Anyway, all right, man. Well, we will talk to you guys next week, and I really appreciate you guys being here. All right, guys and girls. Talk to you later.